Precious cargo. Wherever a river flows along, whether above ground or underground, it picks up material from the rocks and soil through which it flows. You can see some of these things like sand, soil, and pebbles. But water also picks up materials that you cannot see in it. Minerals. What are minerals? Almost all of the earth, except the plants and animals on it, is made of minerals. Minerals is a name for thousands of different kinds of materials in the earth. Everything made of rock or sand or cement or asphalt is made of minerals, many different kinds of them. The coins in your pocket, silver, nickel, and copper, are made of minerals, and so are the aluminum pots in the kitchen and all iron things too. Shining gold and sparkling jewels are minerals. And you know of one material that you use all the time: salt. When you sprinkle salt into your soup or into water, it dissolves. Other minerals too dissolve in water, though not so easily as salt. Rainwater, as it trickles through the ground, constantly dissolves minerals out of rocks and soil. As it seeps through the ground, some of this water and mineral material is drawn up into the roots of plants, but most of it goes on its long journey to the sea. Usually, you can't taste the dissolved minerals which are in brooks or wells because they're in such tiny amounts. It's as if you dropped 1 grain of salt into a quart of water and then tried to find a salty taste in the water. But the minerals are there just the same. And here is a way of seeing them for yourself. Experiment. You will need a very clean, dry drinking glass. Do this. Fill it half full of water from the tap. Put 2 pencils across the top and then cover them with a sheet of cardboard, bent into the shape shown in the picture. This cover will keep dust from falling into the water. Place the glass and cover in a warm place, such as on a radiator or vent. The water will slowly evaporate. This may take several days or weeks, but the minerals will remain behind. They will form a pale white film on the side of the glass. Now you know why you can't just rinse a glass in tap water and expect it to dry clean and sparkling. The water evaporates, but the minerals remain on the glass and give it a cloudy look. Some minerals can be an especial nuisance because they prevent soap from doing its job of removing dirt. Water that contains lots of these minerals is called hard water. In towns where the water supply is hard, people have to use special hard water soaps for washing jobs. Sometimes they install water softening tanks. These tanks contain a chemical to remove the minerals that cause all the trouble. It's not surprising that all ordinary water contains minerals. The water has to flow a long way from the place where it first reaches the ground as rain, on through brooks and rivers to the reservoir. On the way, it has plenty of opportunity to dissolve minerals out of rocks and soil. Minerals in underground rivers. Underground rivers carry dissolved minerals too. In fact, they carry more minerals than surface rivers do because the water seeps slowly through the ground rather than just flowing over it. This slow seeping gives the water more time to dissolve the minerals and carry them away. Water that has flowed a long way through the ground often has a special taste because of the great amount of minerals dissolved in it. Some mineral water has a salty taste. Some may taste bitter or iron-like, depending on what kind of rock or soil it has flowed through. If it has passed through ground containing sulfur, it may have the smell and taste of bad eggs. For ordinary drinking, you probably prefer your water plain, without the taste of eggs, salt, iron, or anything else. But some people do like these special flavors, or they think that mineral water is especially healthy. That's why bottled mineral waters are for sale in many drugstores and groceries. And that's why There are big resort towns like White Sulphur Springs and Saratoga Springs, where people come to drink the mineral water that bubbles up from the underground rivers. Icicles of stone. Sometimes the water from an underground river seeps slowly down into an underground cave. If the water contains lots of dissolved mineral material, a very curious and beautiful thing happens. Each drop of mineral-loaded water, as it seeps down to the roof of the cave, hangs there for a while. As it does, the water in the drop evaporates, leaving the minerals behind. The next drop does the same thing, leaving a bit of mineral clinging to the mineral from the first drop. Bit by bit, the minerals build down into a beautiful icicle shape. Such icicles of stone are called stalactites. Sometimes, if the mineral-loaded water seeps just a bit faster, some of it drips to the floor of the cave. Then, as the water evaporates, it leaves minerals on the floor. Bit by bit, these minerals build up into upward-pointing shapes called stalagmites. Stalagmites keep building up, and stalactites build down. When this happens for a long time, the two meet and form strangely shaped columns with curved sides. Sometimes they have beautiful colors because of the minerals they are made of. Sometimes, when the colors are especially beautiful and the caves are especially big, they become attractions for tourists from all over the country. If you ever visited one of these caves, then you know that the stalactites and stalagmites are very hard as rock. In fact, they are rock, though you don't usually think of rock as something dissolved in water. Yet that's how these pillars and icicles came to be. They were made of minerals that were once part of other rocks, perhaps hundreds of miles away. Flowing water dissolved the faraway rocks bit by bit, carried them along in the form of dissolved minerals, and then built them up again, drop by drop, into the strange and beautiful rocks in the cave. Of all the ways of the changing earth, this is one of the strangest, that rocks should dissolve into water and then flow on, perhaps to turn into rock again, or perhaps to flow in a river that ends in the sea.